So in this video, I'm just going to go through very quickly how can we download SQL Server 22, which is imperative for us to be able to code with any data related databases and so on. So we need to have a SQL Server installed on our local machine. So if you go to your favorite browser here, so I've gone into Google, and in the search bar, you can type in SQL Server downloads. So the first thing that comes up is the official Microsoft website. So if you click on that, I've opened that into a new tab. So this is what it looks like. So try SQL Server on premises or in the cloud. So you can have an Azure version of this. But what we're interested in is this section here, the developer edition. So there's two types of main licensing that you can have. So a SQL Server Enterprise, which is for like large companies, and that incurs a licensing fee and is quite expensive. However, Microsoft make the developer version, which is exactly the same as the enterprise version, for free. And the caveat with this is the reason why it's free is only made for development, not for production. So if you're using it for anything that goes into production or something that you're making money out of, that's considered to be production. That's not what it's used for. So they've given developers the tools to be able to work locally and so on. So what we're going to do is we're going to click download. So if we click download now, you will see that will be downloaded onto your download. So if we see here, it's already downloaded here. I've got it. I've downloaded it 5 minutes ago. So if you double click on that, download.exe, and we run that, we run the installation. So it should pop up. So here, this is the window. Once you double clicked on that download file, is we've got the developer edition, is Microsoft SQL Server 2022 at the top there. And we say select the installation type. We just want to select the basics, right? So if we click basic, and then we accept the terms and conditions, we have to scroll down, click accept, and then we say SQL Server, install. And then now it's installing all the necessary packages that we need locally. So once that's done, I'm hopefully going to speed this up. So now that this is complete, this is the window that we see. The installation has completed successfully. So the name of our SQL Server, so can you see here we have instance name, which is the name of our local SQL Server. Desktop, so the administrator is our Windows authentication. So how we logged in is our Windows authentication with our local laptop or computer. And then once you get to here, we say connect now. So once it's connected, here we need a tool called SQL Server Management Studio, and it's short for SSMS. So this tool allows us to be able to interrogate or create new databases locally. So it's a tool similar to like Microsoft Word that you'll be able to run your scripts on and so on. So the SQL Server is an engine, and then SQL Server Management Studio is a relational database management system. So we need that tool. So here we say install SSMS. That will open up in a new browser, take us to the official Microsoft website. If we scroll down slightly, you'll see download SQL Server Management Studio. So the latest SSMS at the recording of this video is 20.2. So download whatever the latest one is from the official Microsoft website. So if we click on that, we'll get another download here. That's downloading. And then once that's downloaded, we'll come back. So now that the SQL Server Management Studio has completed that download, that took a few minutes. So it all depends on your internet speed. Whether you've got a fast internet speed, you might be able to get it downloaded a lot quicker than I can. So this is the prompt window to install after the download. So if we click install, it will continue and prompt. And then it's downloaded all the necessary tools and packages locally. And once that's downloaded, we will be able to connect to our SQL Server that we just downloaded. So now the installation is complete. We get this window to say setup is completed. Now, how do we find where this is actually downloaded or located? So if we go into start, so once you go into the Microsoft folder, you should see SQL Server Management Studio. And then if you select it, this is the window that pops up. So what does this do? We need to connect to the SQL Server that we downloaded. So how do we do that? So on the left hand side, we have what's called the Object Explorer. So this is where we're going to talk about some of our databases and connections and tables and so on. But for this moment, all we want to do is just connect to the SQL Server that we've downloaded. So if we click connect, and then what do we want to connect to? A database engine. So if we click on database engine, we get this window here. The server name, if we click down and select browse for more, we click database engines, and then we select the first one, which is generally the computer name. So if you got your PC, if you go into information and about, you'll be able to pick up your desktop name. And then how do we want to sign into that SQL Server? We're using Windows authentication, which is the same user, how you've logged into your PC, your computer, or so on. So Windows authentication, you leave everything else the same, trusted certification, and then just click connect. And then it will connect to that particular SQL Server that we've just downloaded. So if we go under databases, here we've got some of the databases that we've got downloaded. But if we want to be able to write a new query, we click new query, and this will open up a new white query window. There you go. And then this will allow us to do all of the necessary coding in this section. So all the coding we do here, right? We will go through subsequent lessons to be able to understand how we can run code and so on, and how we will execute, which is that button at the top. But for this video, I just wanted to talk you through exactly how we download a SQL Server, which was SQL Server 22. It was the developer edition, not the enterprise. And then we downloaded SQL Server Management Studio, which is the tool we need to be able to code locally and write the SQL scripts. So I hope that's been useful. I'll see you soon.